Hi everyone, I'm Jasenia, the New England Psychic Medium. I wanted to talk about, I was working directly with a client, and that client happened to be of the Angelic Soul Group. So the Angelic Soul Group is actually one of the largest soul groups here on Earth because it's of a different galaxy, and that galaxy is completely merged and healed and combined, and now a part of, now is on working with Earth. So it was interesting because I know that angels have wings, and I know that wings are earned, but they never really went into depth about it because I guess it wasn't necessary. But I was working with an angelic client, and we were actually present for the winging ceremony, and I thought it was really beautiful, and I wanted to share. So the angelic, every soul group has their own structure. Now the angelic soul group is very pastel, and I almost say they have like a golden silver dust to them, like the metallic dust. And it's simply part of their aura, their energy, their dimension. It's all the same. Their theme comes from the same soul group creator. So a soul group creator or a soul group architect is what we would consider a god. Their soul group architect manages the angelic realm and also the angelic dimension. Now the dimension is the energetic properties of a soul group. So it's like their soul group's home. Now Earth is unique because it also has a physical world, a dimensional world, and a soul group. But Earth is considered quite young compared to a soul group that's already mastered and merged their own galaxy. Earth can seem kind of young. So our goal as evolved or ascending beings is to master merge. So when we have mastered and merged our own soul group, we merge with another, we merge with another, we merge with another. So the angelic soul group is actually a group cluster, or the collective conscious of many soul groups, and their image is something they have accumulated through evolution, and it will continue to evolve as they merge and master other soul groups. And that's what we're all doing essentially. So that's the idea of oneness. We are all working to merge into oneness. So this keeps, their image will keep evolving as they collect more information and soul groups. And the reason is because no information is lost in this merger. It is a collective, very beautiful connection between two soul groups. It's like becoming one entity, one being, but still maintaining their very distinct characteristics. So, but it takes so long to shift or evolve the image that they likely won't really change until, a couple lifetimes from now. So we might not be witness or bear witness to their structural differences. So they were showing me the structure of the wings, and I thought it was really cool. Now we see the wings as, so souls don't actually need to fly. They are fifth dimensional beings. Therefore, they can travel wherever they want, however they want, whenever they want. And that's why a lot of soul groups don't have wings. It is unnecessary, which brings us to the reason of why. Why has a soul group developed such a distinct characteristic, being these winged beings? And it's such a beautiful image too, to see their wings exposed, and they're huge. And it's because it's kind of like a trophy that they earn through experience. So what happens is when an angelic being decides it wants to start incarnation, or, we don't have to come to Earth. We don't have to incarnate on any planet. It's a decision we make. We say we want to align to this planet's energy. We want to learn these lessons. It's like going off to college. It's not a necessity, but it's a decision for growth and evolution. So an angelic being might decide, I want to go to Earth, and part of the, so I'm an Akashic guide. Part of my soul level job is doing the life planning for these souls. So I manage the Akashic guide realm with a bunch of other Akashic guides, and we help sort people's lives, and we help plan their lives. And we counsel them through their lives, and we work with laws created to support growth in the master merger process. So there are laws, there is a counsel, there is guidance, there's a planning team. There's a whole realm for this. And it's called the Akashic realm. Now, the difference between a dimension and a realm is a dimension is a home, or I call it the belly of the soul group architect. The reason is because it's literally a god. A dimension resides within a god. A god creates the home and beings in its image. So it's a dimension within, it looks like the belly of a god. And that is how they create beings, or different soul groups. So a realm is a dimension created by souls because there was some kind of need. So we have the ability to create. So souls would have gathered together and said, we need a realm for life planning, and we're going to build this realm. It was mostly created as a protective system to save knowledge. So we have, like I said, we have soul groups that are not even in our galaxy that are now incarnating on Earth, and there was some kind of system needed for information and order. Therefore, they started collecting information from soul groups, their origins, their mergers, their information, their specific characteristics, so that we could file that and never lose that. So when somebody comes to us for healing, we can now pull up their charts, their records, their soul group information, their structures, how they would be if they were untraumatized. And we use that as kind of like a guideline, and we say, okay, so here's your fullest potential, and here is you after 700 lives. What's the difference? How can we heal that and repair that and bring you back to your blueprint, essentially? So it's a really important process in soul evolution, in incarnation, in the life process. And we weren't really storing the information very well. We were doing it as, mentally, like my experiences were my own, and I kind of just kept them. But if I was somehow destroyed or hurt or harmed, that information was lost. So we felt a need for a realm. Now, the soul database is actually very highly protected because not all souls are functioning in master merger. Not all souls are working for this higher consciousness. Not all souls want to ascend. There are some that resonate with the lower vibrations of the ladder. That's simply because that's where they are. That's how they resonate. That's their thing. It's not an idea of bad or good. It's simply a vibrationary scale, and they resonate with the lower vibrations. And some even working on the complete opposite, which is, the complete opposite of master merge would be chaos destruction. So it's only a system of order, meaning that we can't accomplish our goals if we are completely mixed, and they can't accomplish their goals if they are mixed. So they resonate with their vibration of their actions, just like we do. And they choose this chaotic energy, therefore they resonate with the chaos in that plane. So as we take on these experiences, we master, we merger, we evolve, and we raise our vibration or lower our vibration through our actions. And those lower entities have come through and attacked the Akashic Realm database and tried to release toxins. And so essentially the soul structure, it's almost like where souls are birthed and kept and maintained, and a lot of information is kept there. So in a way, having that really delicate program information means that they can now taint the soul structure of every living being. So it can be a very dangerous thing that has already happened. And so they do keep the Akashic records under strict lock and key. It's a very protected system. We, though, as individuals, will always have we always have the ability to access our own records, because that is us. That is our higher self that keeps our records. So I always tell people, like, it's like an octopus figure. Our higher self actually manages our consecutive lives. So if this is a version of our higher self, I would check out my YouTube video on past lives. This would be our higher self. And then our soul, our higher self, actually fragments into many different lives here in this earth. And these are all fragments of our higher self. So our higher self will always hold life information because they're actually all occurring at the same time. So if you were to tap into your higher self, you could actually tap into your own records or past lives. So Pre-birth planning happens in the Akashic realm. All soul groups that align to Earth's energy. I just made a post about this on my page, New England Psychic Medium on Facebook. If you want to check on it, some of the ways we choose the souls that are compatible with Earth's energy is if their soul is compatible with Earth's structure, and if they are ready for the challenges. Earth is a very difficult place to incarnate to. Most souls actually learn at a distance, meaning they learn as observers. So these are our spirit team, our spirit guides, and our connections on the other side. They would rather learn from that side or doing soul level jobs than come down to Earth, because Earth is a very difficult place to incarnate and can be very aggressive and traumatizing, to say the least. So when an angelic soul goes to the Akashic realm to start the pre-birth planning process, their soul group actually holds a very beautiful ceremony for them. And I think this is really beautiful, because this is kind of what got me to realize how brave we were. I feel like so many of us here on Earth, we look at our guides as being like the powerful beings. We look at them and their ability to be clear, see clearly, their ability to guide, their ability to know. And we think, wow, they must be so powerful. But our spirit team is looking at us like we're the brave ones. We take on these challenges. We took on this life that includes suffering and pain and trauma because we knew we could handle it and we would overcome. They're watching us like it's the greatest soap opera of all time. In a way, we are all like little famous actors to our soul groups and teams. They're learning through our experiences. We are actually a valuable part of this puzzle, and it takes a lot of courage to take that on. So for example, the angelic soul group doesn't need to come to Earth. They have mastered and merged their galaxy, so there's really no need, except for the fact that they hate suffering. So most souls do. So they have seen Earth as a place to help others and a place to hopefully help shift people out of suffering through experience. So a lot of them are like, well, I don't need the lesson, but I'm going to be brave and come down anyways. So the soul group has created like a trophy because they don't need this experience, and it just shows a specific level of evolution or experience. And this is done, so the pinnacle of their wings, the nub, essentially when they say I'm ready to come down to Earth, they're given a place. It looks like a case. It's in a room with a lot of screens and things, and it looks like a case, and essentially just their intention to incarnate brings them the pinnacle, this nub. And every life they take on has a reality and an opposite. And they take that reality and that opposite, and when they've accomplished those goals, they put them in. And they put them in, and they grow and they grow and they grow their experiences until they have a full structure. Now, what I thought was really beautiful, which each feather represents a very specific theme, a very specific mission, and it's not really a feather. It's more like I said, it's like a trophy. So they actually look like, it's almost like silver-plated trophies. They don't actually become feathers until they're worn, but they have an energetic vibration that reminds them of what they've accomplished. So, for example, so each trophy would come out like this, and then it would keep going and keep going. I'm showing you the picture of my terrible drawing in a minute, until they have accomplished their full wingspan. So each of these pretend trophies or experiences equal and opposite, equal and opposite, equal and opposite, until they have created the full wing structure. And the ending is the merger. So again, it's like a beautiful picture. When they reach the end, they have the equal and the opposite, the final lesson. And the lesson is usually teaching. So the final lesson is usually taking all of our experiences and bringing them forth to shed light on humanity through our knowledge and lessons. And that is the pinnacle of the wing, the finishing point. And then they would close to activate. So like they would just come together, and the two ends touch each other. And then this is where they activate in this beautiful ceremony that their whole soul group, well, their soul family. Now, a soul group is everybody in our soul group. A soul family are people we love and care about, that we constantly incarnate with, that have really become close to us over time. So it's different than our soul, or like our soul group, because we chose them and we chose to incarnate with them over and over again, but they can also be of different soul groups. Our soul family can be anyone from any being from any dimension. So during this ceremony, what happens is they take the finished wings and they do this whole beautiful thing, and they talk to the soul, and they kind of, they congratulate them for their accomplishments and their experiences on earth, and then the wings close and they tap point to point, and then they become the feathers, and then they are now connected to the being. So they are then attached to the being in this beautiful ceremony where they like kneel over, and the wings are attached to their back, and then they're activated. Now they don't get taken off, they're now a part of its soul structure. So it's interesting because they're saying like this idea that the angels fall from heaven only to rise again is showing that the angel falls without wings, and the wings represent an evolved being who can now use its experiences to rise again, or raise its vibration, or come back to completion. So it's a really beautiful ceremony, and they actually use that in part of the ceremony. I thought it was really beautiful. The fallen angel will now rise again, and then they get up, and then they kind of, everybody is cheering them on, and it was a really beautiful thing. The halo is actually protective. It's not something that's earned. It's actually a protective light. Around our crown, we actually have a portal. This connects us home. It connects us to our home dimension. So if we are meditating without protection, or if we're using tools of divination without protection, we actually can let in negative entities and demonic energies. Now, the way that the angelic soul group has learned to manage this is they've adopted a halo. The halo is the white light, and they say no impurities will cross this light. So we keep it around our crown chakra because it actually protects any incoming impurities when we are in our spiritual connection, when we are meditating or connecting to source, or using our gifts or tools of divination to get information from source. So I thought it was so beautiful because, like I said, none of this information came to me for any other reason except for that we had to use the halos to protect a group of children, and we were present for this gorgeous ceremony, and I thought, wow, how beautiful. I knew that wings were earned, but I never really understood the process or the structure, and it kind of made me laugh because I thought, like, you don't need wings. You can just float around anyway. So I thought, like, how silly. I thought angels were kind of extra, you know? Like, our souls and different soul groups stick to our necessary structures. They can be as extravagant as they want. They can be as extra as they want, but usually their structure has some kind of meaning of value to them. So I thought it was a really beautiful message to share, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want more information, I would check out my YouTube, because I do have information on past lives and more information on angels and the angelic trials and other stuff that I've seen and work with regularly. So thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the information.